Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And thanks so much for the few Patreons that I do have that help support this channel. Much appreciated. And as a Patreon, you have access to exclusive Patreon reviews. I do one or two a month. And remember, folks, it's just whiskey. Today is a quick, just news, but mostly a rant about less than spectacular prices. I also have to take a page out of Jeff from G Whiskey's book. I have a mystery pour. If you stick around to the end, not only will you find out what's in my mystery pour, it will determine what my next review will be, what shouldn't be too much of a surprise to people that have watched the last 2 or 3 reviews. Hint, hint. All right. The only news that matters, that's exciting, is right now in Islay, they're doing the Fèis seal celebrations all throughout Scotland and on Islay. And Laphroaig Cairdeas has just been revealed, and I think it's exciting, and that's why I kind of have these 2 old Cairdeases up here. What it's called is Cask Favorites, and it's a 10-year age-stated Cairdeas. Comes in at 52.4% ABV, and oh, that's Hazy, my cat. What are you doing down there? Come here. You wanna say hi to the camera? Come here. Oh. Yeah, this is Hazy. She's made appearances here before, and she's you just stay right here, okay? Because you're gonna knock everything down if you go up. Anyway, this is Hazy the cat, and she's in a very playful mood. So we're gonna go let her play with her little toy down there. Back to the Laphroaig Cairdeas, 2024 release. I don't know when it's gonna hit the States or hit the retail shelves. Hopefully soon. So yeah, it comes in at 52.4%. And what they've been doing lately with the Cairdeas ABVs, they're not cask strength, not all of them. But what they've been doing, so that 52.4, the 2.4 means 2024. Okay. And why they're calling it Cask Favorites is because the master distiller over there, distillery manager, throughout all the tours, got a lot of input, and people's favorite that was expressed to him seemed to be the Laphroaig Cairdeas Triple Wood from 2019, and Laphroaig Cairdeas PX finish, which came out a couple of years after that, and then of course the core range Laphroaig 10-year-old, which we're lucky here in the States that comes in at 43%. In the UK and other places of the world, it only comes in at 40%. So what they did with the triple wood was matured in ex-bourbon mostly, then matured in quarter casks for 6 months, and then finished in Oloroso. Okay, so I can put these away and make some room. What they did with this new release, they took the same formula, but instead of the Oloroso finish, it's a PX finish, PX sherry finish. So they basically took the best of both worlds with the triple wood, ex-bourbon, quarter cask maturation, and then a PX finish. I don't know what the price is, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be around $100, hopefully, maybe on sale a little before that. What are you doing? What are you doing? I got to bring it back up here again. I feel like Ralphie with his cats, you know. Her favorite toy are these champagne cork stoppers. I throw them around and she fetches them like a dog and brings them back to me. So here we go, Hayes. Where is it? Go get it. Sorry, but you know me. This is laid back land. So yeah, so that's really the only news, but I'm excited about it, obviously. The rest of the show is going to be a rant, and what I've come to know, what we've come to all know for quite a while is that cats are a lot of fun. Is that we're witnessing more and more so over the years, exponentially, a division of the classes, the have and the have-nots. And whiskey in the last few years has really been getting, it's a luxury product, more and more so. And there are a lot of people in this world where really money is, I don't want to say no object, but money is, they have a lot of disposable income. So these price hikes don't really affect some people. The views and my opinions today are just my experience, my opinion, and when we talk about the elephant in the room, although there's a couple. Ardbeg. That's why I'm calling the show Less Than Spectacular Prices. There's no way I'm going to spend $140 for a 46% non-age dated product, period. And me personally, I would be embarrassed to review something of that expense. I really feel it's just a ripoff. And I'm going to give an example. My opinion on that new Ardbeg, which really ticked me off, and I've been hesitating doing this show for a while, because I don't want to give bad publicity is good publicity, right? So I'm not trying. The more I mention Ardbeg, the more people are going to be drawn to it, I guess, right? In my opinion, that's a $70 or $80 bottle, max. And I'll use their Ardbeg Barbecue as a great example. You don't see these sitting on the shelves. These came out last year, and it was their, gimmicky and all that kind of stuff. But it comes in at a respectable 50.9% ABV. And it retailed for around $80, maybe $85. You might have been able to find it for $78. But for around $80, you could get a limited, gimmicky, nice offering. And I think it's gotten a lot of great reviews is because we don't have to justify the price. And if they're charging $80 for this, with all the marketing, they're still making a profit. So why can't they do that with other things? The other elephant in the room is Diageo, which I'm not going to talk about them in today's program. So some good examples, and I'm not just going to pick on Ardbeg. I'm actually going to pick on Foursquare too in a minute. That's why those are here. But value for money, so kind of gimmicky marketing products, right, are the Lagavulin 11-year-old Offerman series. So this is the fourth one. But they retail for $80 to $100, okay, for an 11-year limited release, age dated. And a lot of marketing and gimmicky wording has gone into this. I don't have a problem paying that price range, well south of $100. Same thing with the Glenmorangie Tales series, right? They're all $80 to $100 range for sake of argument, right? And Glenmorangie and Ardbeg are owned by the same company, by Moet Hennessy, so I don't understand it. And now if you get away from the gimmicky stuff, Glenmorangie 12-year-old They're every year or so they come out with an age-stated different wine finish. This particular one I have here is the Palo Cortado. One year they had a ex-cognac, one year, ex-port, whatever. But you're getting an age-stated 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, and for well under $100. Granted, these aren't gimmicky, but you kind of get where I'm going with this. Then things that are not gimmicky, Bunnahabhain 12 cask strength, right? Well under $100. 80 $90 usually is the price range for these 12-year-old age-stated cask strength. And then, of course, Laphroaig 10-year-old cask strength. Again, not a gimmicky thing, annual release, but it's a 10-year cask strength, or for well under $100. So some of the other Ardbegs, the Barbecue again, those things they flew off the shelves because they were reasonably priced. I still see sitting in the shelves, yes, the Diageo, some of the Diageo special releases, absolutely. But Ardbeg, the heavy vapors, still sitting there for whatever, $140-ish. Their Ardcore, which didn't get great reviews, that's still sitting there, as well as the Spectacular. People are hard pressed to spend that kind of money. Having said that, I am, in a way, relieved that the prices are going the way they are, in that it makes it so much easier for me to just pass on them. I have way too many bottles, as probably most of us do, and here's a perfect example. Foursquare, quality product. Okay, so I'm not dissing them at all about that. But the special releases, so the Foursquare Redoubtable, this came out in 2020. Cask strength, 14-year-old age stated. I think I paid around $85 for that. Then the next year they come out with this Sibaweth, which sold out quick, which was a 16-year, which I believe at the time was the oldest age-stated ex-bourbon, and it got mixed reviews. But $120, I was intrigued by just being ex-bourbon and 16-year-old, but that was in 2021. The suggested retail on it at that time was $140, but I was able to get it for $120, which was and is a lot of money. And now their brand new Foursquare special release that just came out, it's called Equipose. It's a 14-year ex-bourbon and ex-Calvados, and that retails for $160. And so in the course of 3 or 4 years, their special releases have doubled in price. And so it's an easy pass for me. I just okay, I'm done buying Foursquare. I'm done buying Ardbeg. And I'm done buying a lot of Diageo special releases, although the caveat is I'm probably, depending how crazy they get, but I found that the Talisker, I'm a big Talisker fanboy. Those tend to be one of the lower price special releases. So it's in comparison, it's kind of a guilt-free or less guilt-free purchase. But I was collecting the Lagavulin and 12 special releases, all the painted ones, the birds and the lions and the phoenix and all those kind of things. And last year, the cover art was great, right? The tattoo thing, finished in Don Julio tequila cask, but $170, for a 12-year cask strength. Whereas, Bunnahabhain, without any of the marketing, almost $100 less than that. So So yeah, I bought the Talisker, and I plan on keep buying the Talisker special releases as long as it doesn't get too crazy with those. But in the past, I might have bought 2 or 3 Diageo special releases. Now I'm just focusing on probably just the Talisker. Although there's always, right? But there's one more, right? And it's the Kalila. They're coming out with an 11-year-old non-peated version. Okay, so that intrigues me, but it just totally depends on the price. All right, so I don't want to make this too long. I think you get my point. Whiskey, rums, tequilas, they're becoming more and more for the rich, and not just the rich, but the very I shouldn't say the rich, this very successful people that have disposable income. That's more accurate. Very successful people that have worked hard, that have great jobs, where they live in a different lane than me financially, and it's just getting to the point where it's hard to justify making these purchases, which are now well north of $100, encroaching on $200, $220, and we all know, and much higher than that. But anyway, I feel a little better now. Of course, what's in the glass? For those that you've been watching the last few shows, I've been doing a mini series on Douglas Lang's Old Particular single cask range, and the next review will continue that with this Jura, 12-year-old Jura, that comes in at 54.7% ABV, finished in PX sherry casks. Okay, so that's going to be my next review. I'll leave the bottle there. I'll put these away. And remember, folks, it's just whiskey. So watch your money. Hats off to you all, and take care, folks.